Welcome to Between Two Pastries, a not-so-typical nutrition podcast. Nicole and Annie are licensed and registered dietitians. Join them as they discuss hot nutrition topics, challenge popular beliefs, and have a blast doing it. Here are your hosts, Nicole and Annie.
All right. Welcome to Between Two Pastries. This is Nicole.
Hey, it's Annie.
And our topic today is, it's a little confusing because we don't even know really how to actually say it, except that we can call it nutrition programming out there, where you can send in your blood, your saliva.
Like DNA
tested. Right. So there's
what to eat based on your genes.
That's right. And there's certain programs out there. We were just discussing that we don't know the names of all of these, so we're not going to...
We know some of them, but we won't call them out.
Well, we were kind of wondering, should we? So, and anyway...
You know what they are.
So I think... So when we kind of talk about this, the reason why we're kind of bringing it up is because of the fact that people will put so much weight in the outcome of these things as it's gospel, truth. It is 100% factual. And I think that we're just trying to shed some light on everyone, that if you want to use some of these things because you find it interesting or fun, to also take it with a grain of salt and not just keep it, not see it as this is hardcore facts,
Or how you need to eat the rest of your life.
That's right.
I'm going to submit my blood or saliva so this tracker can tell me what I should eat to be a better athlete or a better whatever. You can't, that's not a thing.
That is definitely not a thing. It just
100% is a waste of money to do that. It is, like, I don't know any other way but to say it truly is one of the hoaxiest things in the entire world that you can be doing.
That's right.
Mainly because how you eat as an athlete is not predicated on your genes. How you perform as an athlete is not predicated on your genes. I understand that Michael Phelps has a very large arm wingspan, but like that genetically is a thing for him, but like that you cannot literally analyze your genes to dictate how you eat to be faster, better, stronger, or anything like that.
Correct.
That is not a thing. And so what they're doing is when you change anything about what you do, there will be potentially a physical change that occurs.
Well, because
positive or negative.
Right. Because of the fact, too, that when you do these things, all of these companies, too, are also based on literally whole food.
Correct.
So if you're not doing if you're not doing 75, 80, 90% whole food now, and you go to 100% whole food from maybe 50% whole food, are you going to experience a change? Yes. Is it because of this genetic outcome? No, it's not actually. It's because you're eating whole food.
Right. And I guess...
And not even that is a sure thing, but that's also kind of the point. Because there are other programs out there, and I have to bring this up right now because this just really makes Annie and I cuss. But there's a particular program out there right now, and it's similar to the whole concept of fasting, which we'll kind of get into. But I think what upsets us the most is that it's also tied in with eating whole foods. So the thing that gets us is the results are not... Sure, the results could be because you're starving yourself for so many hours in a day, and you're losing massive amounts of muscle mass. But essentially, any type of weight loss is going to happen because, you're probably... finally in some form of calorie, either calorie controlled or there's some form of a calorie deficit, but also that you actually change the composition of what you're eating. So you're just processing on a higher level because whole foods have a higher metabolic output, if you will, because they're actually sensed by the cells. There's really nothing that the cells have to do to, change it or, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I do.
So it just automatically changes our metabolism, and don't quote me exactly on that precisely because I don't want you to take my words verbatim, but what I'm saying is that you'll just operate more efficiently, of course, because of you're eating whole functioning food.
Right. And what I don't understand is, and I'm going to assume this happens to you too, is I will get friends or clients or whomever that say, oh yeah, I'm running blah, 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 or I've got X event, activity, whatever that I'm doing. What do I need to do to eat? And you tell them when to eat, how to eat, what to eat, eating around the workout, you do the sports nutrition thing, you increase their intake, they feel better, they can't handle it, they don't listen to you, and then they decide to do an app tracker type thing and have their genes analyzed, and they'll listen to that. They will literally listen to an algorithm.
That's what it is, too. It's not even a real person.
It's not a person.
There's no person.
There's no science behind it whatsoever.
And this is what we're trying to make really clear. And so this is the other interesting piece about these that Annie and I discovered because we were looking into some of this stuff prior to even us talking today on this. But you've got to be super careful. So there's one program in particular that touts, shouts, screams, blasts all over their website. Like, this is, science-based. It was tested at, what was it, Harvard? Okay.
Yeah.
So when you really dig into the actual truth of that whole claim, what it is there was one study done with 10 people that was funded by the company itself and was done at Harvard.
Right. That doesn't mean Harvard did it.
Right. It doesn't mean Harvard decided to randomly do this so there's no bias. It wasn't that Harvard was like, this is a thing and we're trying to prove something. It was that this company paid, this is what needs to be understood, paid Harvard so they could do this 10-person study, which means nothing, by the way.
Terrible.
And it was a one-off thing, and of course it wasn't a very well orchestrated study at all.
Right.
But so they could just prove something.
But people's media literacy is just so non-existent. Yes. People go to the website of, I want my saliva DNA tested so I know what to eat on the tracker, and they scroll through and see, science at Harvard and proven and works, and they don't actually dig deeper to see those things or to know that just because it's at Harvard doesn't mean that Harvard researchers are conducting it on a non-biased level. They basically rented a lab in Harvard and shoved their own people in it, their own 10 subjects to do it. Help me to understand why people are putting their trust and energy and money into something like that when literally you can have a real person who can adjust things for you. It's really interesting, and I had shared with Brian, but I had a couple clients this last week who were following very specific diets, like true diets and stuff like that, and logging or weighing in and doing I can't lose weight, nothing's working, and I put them back to eating carbs. I got them, doing sports nutrition for their workouts, and I've gotten 3 emails in the last week about how, thank you so much. I feel like I could do this the rest of my life.
Yep.
I feel like I have energy in my workouts now. Some of them had some weight loss.
Yep.
I guess I don't understand it. Why are we paying an app?
Yep.
It truly is mind-blowing how people, I don't know, they trust electronics.
Oh, absolutely.
That's weird to me.
And I think that there's a thing around that. I don't know what it's called, but there literally is a term for that too, which we should find out because I find it interesting.
It's fascinating to me. And again, kudos to you if you have success on this stuff. But what I'm going to tell you is it's not your DNA and changing how you ate based on that programming that caused your change to occur.
That is exactly right. The another one of these programs that are out, I had a couple clients who had done them. They're like, "Hey, can you just look this over and tell me what you think?" And it was like it literally had generalization and BS written all over it because you go through these things and it literally just said you would benefit from consuming whole foods. You would benefit from consuming lower glycemic foods, that type of thing. And it's like, is that not just common sense, maybe?
Well,
that's what we're doing. Do you know what I mean?
Even, let's say,
like, is that really specific to you personally?
No, not at all.
I mean, everybody can benefit from that. That's what bothered me.
But here's where the psyche goes. You have on there. You have your genes tested, and it says let's say it's a rating of can, maybe can, shouldn't do shouldn't eat gluten.
Right.
If it's tilting even just a notch towards shouldn't, people are like, okay, can't have gluten ever again.
Yes.
That's
again, they
the
grab
issue.
onto
They're
that.
grabbing onto it.
I know.
Or caffeine is, I remember on one test that I was looking at, caffeine is best metabolized at this hour, so shoot for this many grams of caffeine. Mm-hmm. Do you know how general that is? From just knowing the numbers of recommendations for caffeine.
Right.
They weren't telling you anything specific from your genes. 100% not a thing.
No.
Now, is there a science of nutrigenetics?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
That there is a sliver of dietetics that focuses on nutrition and genes. However, that is like even from 10, 12 years ago, that's still an up-and-coming science.
Yes.
And it's going to be probably another 10 years before that's even something where we start making claims like, okay, we know with this gene profile, this is the outcome. And we know with, based on certain genes, these might be the implications of...
That's right.
But that science is still so immature
it's still
right
new.
now.
But I love that you just said that, Annie, because it's so important that people understand how long it takes in order for what you, quote, just said, in order to make solid, real claims.
Right.
So, again, we're just trying to kind of shed light on...
Yep.
Don't believe everything that is out there yelling at you to grab onto. That's the thing. And this is just, again, we have to kind of wrap our time up here, but I just wanted to also just kind of say a shout out to one of our listeners who had sent me an email too and just had expressed how much that she's enjoying listening, which is really great. But I just appreciated her comment so much because it kind of showed that she was somebody who was attuned to kind of some of this stuff that was going on and was aware of it.
Right.
But she also just said, and this is her quote, like, you guys have such a tough job because there's so many online programs that are run by people with limited education in actual nutrition.
So many.
And there really are. And so I just wanted to thank her for actually like recognizing that that is a reality in general that's out there. And I guess Annie and I just want to make sure that we have an opportunity to actually say, hey guys, just watch out because of what is out there.
Right. There's so much that comes into my media feed. Right.
Well, and like you just said too, again, with time. But like you just said too about the whole like claim thing and stating it and how long it actually takes for something to get produced. The thing is once people start seeing, oh, this is a thing, what they decide right away is they're just going to latch onto the concept, create a business around it, blow it up like it's actual factual, and start putting a dollar. Yep. That's exactly what it is. This is another piece.
And health influencers.
Right. And let's also remember, we never talked about this, and we probably should. Paleo is not a thing. Paleo was designed by a business major. Yep. And so that again is what we're trying to help you understand.
Right.
That these are where these concepts are coming from. The foundation of these things is not there.
Not even a little.
Right. So anyway.
Many of them. Okay, that's it.
We got to breathe a little bit. And we're going to head on out, folks. But thank you so much for listening. Bye.
Have questions you want to hear discussed on the show? Find us on Facebook or visit betweentwopastries.com and drop us a line. Want to support the show? Find us on Patreon for exclusive content. If you love the show, find us on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform. Hit the subscribe button and leave us a review.